如果命可以换好的艺术，你换不换？我说，当然是要换的，但问题是，什么是好的艺术呢？这根本就是提错问题，搞错重点，好吗？来自日常的能量是艺术的种子，挫败和苦难让它发芽，但首先要有种子。如果能够穿过荒原，最终到达某个顶峰，我将在山顶指出来路。如果你也沿着这条路来，我的灵魂归你，请你把这火种传递下去，熊熊的燃烧，照亮这条路。如果悬崖下面不是死亡，那我们就碰巧发现了让人类飞翔的方法。我总在过马路的时候感觉自己渺小。闪烁的绿色倒计时说，这是一个小人国的梦，快跑，你就会醒来。巨人难以觉察到巨大，矮人时时刻刻感受渺小。录音机比耳朵更能听清楚风的声音。未被踏过的积雪仍然融化，无人问津的行道树开花，柳絮不制造红肿的眼睛。时间径自行走，不在乎我是否在清晨出门。我把双手举过窗台，不愿它们触碰到阴影，直到太阳将墙上最后一缕光斑熄灭。十指惊醒，寻找火柴，越接近光源，映出的轮廓逐渐巨大。这是一个小人国的梦，快跑，你就会醒来。这是一个小人国的梦，快跑，你就会醒来。快跑，你就会醒来。快跑，快跑，快跑，快跑，快跑，快跑，你就会醒来。这是一个小人国的梦，快跑，快跑，你就会醒来。
So, Mr. Bond, David Bond and Heitzer, thank you very much for collaborating with us for the Spittunes project. Really enjoyed your collaboration. Heitzer, you've played, you were today's poet, but you've played in bands before, is that correct? Yeah, so what do you do? What
Bass guitar.
Bass guitar. Yay! Bass Empire over here. Good. And what's the name of your, are you in a group now, or?
Yeah.
What are you called?
2D foil.
Sorry?
2D foil.
2D foil. Ah, excellent.
You guys played at temple before, right?
School.
School.
And DDC.
DDC, not temple. Okay, I've seen that name before.
We're so light. Temple will just swallow us.
Temple does swallow.
Yeah.
Temple swallows, yeah.
It does. So,
Literally and figuratively.
yeah, well, we'll leave that to your imagination.
Yeah.
David, you're in 1,000 bands, is that correct?
Yeah.
Could you
Less so now, but I'm not sure. A few of them may have fallen by the wayside.
Only 800.
It's hard to keep track.
How many are you
There's
now?
a few,
If you
yeah.
had to guess.
Last time I counted, it was 8.
8. So
But like I said, I don't think all of them are going to survive the pandemic.
that's more than, obviously every day of the week. So
That's why you have many,
Yeah, well, that's why I have a lot. So that if a few of them break up while I wasn't looking, it doesn't really matter that much.
Oh, yes, yeah. That's the sound of gin in a glass. So, you were playing the keys today. Haite was reading poetry. Haite, perhaps you could tell us, what was the experience like working with David, and perhaps the process? Just what were your feelings about it? First thing that comes into your head.
He's great.
That's nice.
There you go. Good. Anything else to add? Alston was great.
Yeah, great work. For me.
It's good. Yeah. So, David?
How did I enjoy working with myself? Fine, normal.
What was the process?
Used to it.
Just search your feelings.
Mostly.
Because this is not the first time you've done this project.
No. The last time I think it was with you and with a very tall
Jamie.
Spanish guy.
Jaime.
Jaime. Yeah.
Handsome Jaime.
Yeah. It was a similar kind of thing. We just kind of went in and had some sort of musical ideas roughly outlined, and then hear the poet, hear the poems, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, this is kind of organic.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things. Both times I kind of hadn't really had much of an idea exactly what was going to happen before I went into the rehearsal, but then sort of kind of trust the feeling in the rehearsal room to kind of guide you.
Well, I have a more technical question. So did you come up with, or did you think that a certain sound, because on your note you have 1,000 sounds, so did you kind of like choose one and think, oh, no, this sound is going to fit the vibe, and then just stick with it, or like do you try many different tones?
Well, I mean, piano is it's kind of one of the first thing that comes up when you turn it on.
Right.
Number one.
But yeah, the piano is kind of right there at your fingertips. No, the other sound I used, that was a sound I came up with ages ago. I know you're asking about it because I do use on a very similar sound I use on one of our tracks.
Right.
In one of the many bands that's hopefully still around. It's yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like. There was some music that I'd written to that before I'd started using the sound in our other band that I kind of wanted to just kind of felt unfinished or felt I felt like I had some unfinished business with that sound.
I think it worked together very well with the poetry today. It was,
when I heard Haito's poem and got a feel for it, that it felt appropriate.
And what was the difference to playing in this environment with pretty much complete silence in the studio versus yesterday at the gig?
You're a very seasoned musician.
That seems like it's a good question, but it's actually very difficult to answer.
It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe. I don't know. It seems like it's similar to playing similar to recording a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're really aware of the camera. You are aware of the camera.
Did you guys feel pressure today different than pressure in the bar?
I feel unsafe today.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's because I wore the black leather jacket.
But there's all these anonymous sort of little, numbers on a screen. I think there's about 131 people watching today. But it feels like there's no one there because it's just a phone.
Yeah.
Fascinating discussion. I really enjoyed. No, really, I really enjoyed your collaboration. I think it's because we started drinking gin. These are just like. Thank you very much for working with us today. I really appreciate it. I'll shake your hands.
Okay, shake your
very
hand.
much.
Thank you for ringing me.
I would ask more questions. It's very, very interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting, and hopefully you can do it again.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much, guys. Round of applause for you.
Alright, next.